Jake, now I would like to talk to you about accommodation possibilities for students. If someone comes as a student and never been in London, what would be the best option for him where to live? Would he should he prefer accommodation from the school, which you offer, or should he aim for private accommodation? What's your take on it?
So accommodation in London can be really quite expensive. It's a very expensive capital city, but there's lots of different options that make it affordable and also cheap at times. So we have 4 student accommodation buildings that are very close to our university. One is literally a 30-second walk from the building to our university, and then the furthest one away takes about 8 minutes. But if you walk fast like me and most people in London, you can do it in 5. But we are the cheapest student accommodation provider in London. Our prices start at £126 per week. And you can you'll always have a private bedroom. You can have an option where you have a shared bathroom and a shared kitchen with other flatmates, or you can have a private bathroom. We even have a room where it's your own private studio apartment, so private kitchen, private bathroom. But there's lots of different combinations that you can look at, and this can make living in London very, very affordable. We can help students find private accommodation if they would like. We have a list at our accommodation department of approved landlords. So we check their accommodation, make sure it's clean, it's safe, there's nothing dangerous, and also that the price is good and it's what it should be for the market value. So if students would like to live privately, we can absolutely help with that, and we can recommend places to be. Most private accommodation is a little bit further out in London. An average commute time from where you live to where you either work or study in London is about 30 to 40 minutes. It takes me 35 minutes to get to work.
All right, which is considered like nothing in London.
Yeah,
if you consider the size of the
absolutely.
city.
That's fine. That's a standard kind of time. But if you want to take the student accommodation that we have, you could have a 30-second walk. So you'll be fine to get to class on time every day.
Okay, I understand that London, as it is one of the biggest capitals or most famous capitals, it's expensive.
Yeah.
Right, like every capital is. But if you consider living in such an amazing city, you pay for what you get, right?
Absolutely.
Plus, do students have some discounts on, for example, public transportation, entry to museums, or
absolutely. So
like
when
student pass?
Yeah, so when you join the university, you'll get your student ID card. And on the back of that card, it's you're a member of the student union. And this is what gets you discount to basically everything. So restaurants, cinemas, bars and clubs, museums, art galleries, you get between 10 to 20% discount on everything. Even if you're not sure if a place takes student discount, ask, because they most likely do. Even shops like H&M and Topshop, they do student discount. But one of the best discounts you can get is we call it an Oyster card, and it's the card that lets you use all the public transport in London. So the buses, the tubes, the trains, everything. And you can get a really, really great discount using your student card on this. And it can make everything really, really affordable and really bring the prices down for you. The other thing as well to think about is if you had a part-time job while you study.
Which you can manage with your studies, right?
Yeah, absolutely. There's enough time around studying to have a job. Every one of us who studied in Britain, like myself included, I had a job while I studied. You always need some money if you need to go out. But there's enough time around your studies to have a good job. I worked in a basic shop, but students nowadays, they don't just work in like restaurants, bars and clubs. Like a lot do, but you could work in shops, but even like offices and proper businesses, like big sort of businesses that are close to the industry that maybe you want to work in later. But the wages in London are actually higher because it is an expensive city, but you can earn more money just because you're in London. So with this higher wage and then your student discount, you can really use the system to make everything really affordable in London.
So just be really honest. Let's say the budget monthly wise. Can I live off £900?
Oh, easily. God, after I've paid my bills, I have about £400 left each month to go out and do the things I want to do.
Just supporting yourself from your part-time job.
Yeah. So yeah, absolutely. So If you take the rent away from your accommodation, so £900 would be,
All right.
that's a really
I'm
good amount.
more like consider, because many times I meet with students
Yeah.
and or parents, especially parents, they are quite cautious about London. It's expensive. It's perceived as a capital. It's expensive.
Yeah.
So, but you are living proof
Yeah.
that you can manage. You survived as a student there. You live in there. You're traveling there.
Yeah.
You're spending all your free time there, and it's like any other city. It has its pluses, minuses.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, the one thing for me about London as well, I mean, obviously it can be an expensive city, but like we've taught, you can make it work for you and you can make it affordable. But one thing about London, where it is so big and it is so busy, if you come from a smaller city, you may not be prepared for how busy it is. And
I've seen on the streets, it's just the crowd takes you.
Yeah, there's some places like Oxford Street where the shops are, especially at Christmas. So there's lots of tourists and there's lots of people doing their last minute Christmas shopping. And that street can be a big shock if you're not used to that kind of thing. But the one thing I really love about London in this area is we are the greenest city in Europe because of the amount of parks we have. And so if anything, if at any time it gets too busy for you, you just go into one of these parks and you can't hear the city. They're so peaceful and still, and we have all these like lakes and ponds and things like this. And you just lie down there in the sun. Surprisingly, it doesn't rain that much in London. So you just lie down in the sun, calm down, and then you can get back to it.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Cool.